welcome.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
Has it sunk in yet that you're with a different team?
Yeah, man. I think it sunk in a little bit for me yesterday when I was going a little crazy with the fan, but just being in here and taking in just the facilities and everything and the welcome, I think I'm pretty honed in and really know what I'm about and pretty aware of everything.
Got a number picked out yet?
Yeah, number one. I'm going with number one.
Could you just, over the past few days, what's this process been like for you? And when did you kind of realize I'm going to be a Packer?
Yeah, once I found out about, the agreement and came down to negotiations, at first it was like, obviously like anyone, I got kids, I got, a house, I got family that all moved down for me. And it's a change, right? And I had to sit down and talk to my family about this potential opportunity, and that's when, I got the chance to speak, with some other guys in faculty about what it could be like if I decided to come here. And, once I got that comfort zone and they said, and, I got to talk to Rashid a little bit, that's my guy from Penn State, came in together. This is like, it's like Penn State, like it's like home, like this is like a brotherhood, like it's safe, you focus on ball and, we keep everything the right thing. It kind of gave me comfort and it kind of gave me a better decision, like, okay, this is a place where I feel like I can take my next step and continue to have a great legacy here.
Micah, did you have any say in where you could go or where you might go?
Nah, I didn't have any say. It was just, I would say I'm pretty lucky because I understand the rich history of the Packers and the fact that they had interest in me and understand that they had a pretty tough team already in the NFC, and I was pretty much geared up, ready to play them, looking for revenge. But now I'm on the other side of adding to this rich history and being able to play with these guys and suit up and, play. I'm very excited.
Where are you at physically, and what's a reasonable expectation for what you can do next Sunday?
Well, I'm going to talk I think physically, I'm great. I think I can contribute a lot. I'm going to team up with the doctors, creating a plan. We already talked about how we can ramp things up and get me into a flow where they feel comfortable and I feel comfortable. But, my plan is to be here. They didn't give up what they gave up for me to sit on the sidelines and make this big of a, risk and change for me to do that. So I'm finna give my all.
Michael, what's your relationship like with Jordan Love, and was the podcast the only time he tried to recruit you here?
Oh, man, I don't think it was ever like a serious conversation because, even me, like many of us, I never thought I'd be traded, But, that's the harsh reality. But, me and Jordan, we're super close, I would say. Obviously, having the same agent, me and Jordan been together in Dubai and, through the podcast, Super Bowl weekends. So we got a very good relationship. He's somebody I know that, we're very competitive when we're around each other. So I know what type of quarterback he is. I'm very fond of Jordan, too, just about, the quarterback he is and what he can be and how he just keeps getting better.
You said you never expected to be traded. How does it feel now to be in this position?
Honestly, everything happens for a reason. It's a blessing in disguise. I may not have that answer for you yet, but I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to work hard every day to prove that, the Packers organization made the right decision and trusted me. I'm going to carry that with me.
There's something that you and Jordan also have in common besides the agent. You guys have both had success in this league and are still kind of looking for that ultimate prize. How you got to see this team up close a couple of years ago. How much are you just anticipating the opportunity to win here, and how much is that on your mind?
Oh, man, winning is everything to me. I don't think you're going to find a more competitive person on the team or anywhere in the NFL when it comes to anything we do. We could go out shoot hoops. We could go out there and throw a baseball, see who could throw the hardest, whether it's miles per hour. We could go run 40-yard sprints. I'll wait till you get tired if you're faster than me. I don't think you're going to find someone that's more competitive. So when you talk about winning and the stage of what it takes, I haven't been there, and I don't know what it takes, but I got a funny feeling that, a lot of this history, this program does. They went further than us, and obviously they had a big one against us, and I trust Coach LaFleur, and, I really feel like, we can do it. And like I said, I really want to win real bad.
What have your conversations been like with Halfley, and what's the plan look like for the next week to get up to speed in the defense?
I'm gonna meet with him Monday. Actually, we're gonna meet a little bit when I come in on Sunday. Obviously, get a little bit ready, but he says he got a lot planned for me. I don't know what the scheme look like. I just got my iPad today, so I'm gonna look over it, and I'm super excited, man. I know about his creativity. I heard a lot. Obviously, I don't watch their defense a lot, but I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to get better, and be a dominant player for him.
Micah, in your social media video after the trade, you had some Reggie White clips interspersed into it. A, why was that important to you? But B, is that the kind of guy that you're chasing to be obviously you're all pro, but a legendary Super Bowl winning, all-timer kind of guy?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Reggie is like one of the GOATs. I mean, I'm just looking at his stats, and the fact he had like 70 sacks in like 5 years is just like outrageous to me. And this guy's just like this freaking, I didn't even know. I just learned more history about him today, just about how he's the first free agent and how he came here and won championships. And yeah, people make the comparisons, but I just looked at him like somebody who won. He came here. He can do that. I think I can do that too. I think I can do anything I put my mind to. I looked on that wall and I saw Brett Favre. I saw Reggie. I saw all those legends, and I was like, I gotta be there. And you go near the draft room, and they're all having their hands up, and they having that moment. I'm looking for that moment, and I'm going to take advantage of this moment and maximize it to reach that moment.
Micah, do you have a preference in how you're used? You were used differently in Dan Quinn's, defense.
Yeah.
You were in Zimmer's where you were just had your hand down a lot. Do you have a preference? You like to move around?
Yeah, I love to move around. I think that creates just the matchups that we like. Because let's be honest, man, it's hard to get to the quarterback in this league. And you got to run favorable matchups. So when I get that opportunity of not getting double teamed, I got to win that matchup, and I got to take advantage of that and get pressure on the quarterback. Or else, it's kind of easy for a team to kind of program, say, hey, he's always going to be a left side. So that's why I like to alternate. I like to go, sometimes I want to be on the right side, sometimes I want to be on the left side. I just try to maximize my game so that way I can't be limited or schemed against. I pretty much I'm cool to drop, show up, come in over the A gaps, come over the B gaps. So I'm really valuable in every which way. I think I can win at any spot on the field. It's just about, am I going to be put there? And, that's the type of guy he has.
Mike, I think we all saw the video of you and your mom kind of sharing that moment. Can you just bring me through what that meant for you, especially, everything you've already been able to accomplish?
Yeah, so, my mom, she's probably the hardest working person I ever met in my life. And it's hard for people to even compare, just seeing how I grew up, seeing, all her work, her struggles. And, obviously we had a conversation when I was a rookie, but I was like, money don't last long. Let me see if, we get to the next one, because that's the most important one, because she was like, I don't want you to, be dependent on you. I'm going to kind of wait until see how you do. And even now, I say, you can stop now. She's like, nah, I want to finish my years. Like, you got to understand the type of person you are. So just to take that relief off her shoulders and say, you can stop putting your years in. And I've seen her work since I was a boy, so that's 26 years and beyond that, because my brother's 30, working 3 jobs, 2 jobs. Now she can just chill out for a while. And I told her, before, I was like, because she was like, I can help you with your kids. I was like, you just want to travel a little bit first, like see the world, like see some of the things that God gave us. And she was like, I might do a little bit, but, I'm happiest when I'm around y'all. I was like, you sure you want to live with me? And, like you even want to be around me? Like, you want to go off to Tampa somewhere, get on the beach? Like, you like water? Like, you want to do something like that? She's like, nah, I want to be around. So that's the type of person she is. She just loves to be a grandmother. She loves to be a mom. And she's a hardworking person. So the fact that I can make her emotional and, throughout this process, she was worried about me, she was scared for me. So, now that she's worry-free, that means a lot to me.
After the playoff game against Green Bay, I remember your comments about it seemed like you were impressed by Jordan Love and the game plan that they had for you in that game. So even though this has been something you could have never predicted, weeks ago, is this sort of in the back of your mind, like, well, that could be a destination for me?
Yeah, now I look at it just like, I kind of already knew how the offense was. I think LaFleur is one of the best, coaches in the game. Just seeing how he schemed against me, how his plan was, how he dialed everything up. And you would say, they had like a stat. I'm a football junkie too. How Golden's like the first receiver they took in the first round. So you look at what they had around. It's not like they were drafting Julio Joneses or Odell Beckham Jr.'s or Amari Coopers, and how they're getting creative and getting guys open and beating coverages, and that just shows a lot about Jordan's intelligence. Whether his pre-snap reads, coming out post-snap reads. So I kind of knew what it was like. When I was like, all right, this is a guy I could be playing with. So it kind of made me excited because I know if they score points, I get to rush a little bit more.
Did you have that sweater before you got traded here?
Yeah, I had this for a while. I don't buy clothes no more, so it's kind of like Adidas or whatever's in the closet.
Micah, how do you feel about the buzz? Like, have you run into any fans as of yet, or just seen stuff on social media, like basically saying, hey, this might be the missing piece to where these guys want to go, all that stuff?
Yeah, when I'm like you guys, like when it came out that, I possibly was going to get traded, I was kind of like, and I'm right on socials like you guys, and I'm like, man, then I see Packer Nation kind of going like crazy. And, like, I never really knew how crazy the fan base was and, like, how excited, this fan base gets. Obviously, I played here before, but you don't really take it in, especially with Dallas fan base. They're pretty intense, too. But, just seeing the fan base and how they're, like, all encouragement and excited, and they couldn't wait to have me here. That means a lot. I carry that on my shoulder, too, like, this isn't just for me. Then understanding the history about no owner and how this is all fan and everything gets poured back into this, that means so much. So, I'm going to carry that, and I know they're part of the 111th now, too.
You mentioned seeing that wall of legends outside the locker room. What have you been able to see since you landed here today? And what's been your first impression of being here?
Honestly, I don't know what to expect. I never had seen anything outside of Dallas. And, Dallas is pretty nice itself, and I'm looking around like, whoa, this is nice as it gets. And I'm super impressed by the facilities, the lunchrooms, the meals they prep for us, the training staff, the dietitians, everything that they're offering. As a player, I feel like there's no reason to look for anything outside the building, and that's you can't say that about a lot of places. You talk to a lot of guys around, they feel like they have to bring in chefs or things like that. No, these guys, they literally pouring everything into this building, and that means a lot. So I'm very impressed, and I'm excited to get to work.
And Mike, going back to LaFleur and to your competitiveness, he was telling us earlier that you made a pretty big impression on him at the Pro Bowl, being as competitive as you are and everyone else kind of maybe taking it easy. How did that go over with the other players? And did you realize the impression you were making on Matt when you were being that way?
Nah, I don't realize it because I'm just myself. You'll realize as I'm here, I'm probably one of the most authentic person you meet. I'm going to say things I probably shouldn't say off emotion, and that's just me. I'm going to do as I like because that's just me. All I know is go, and if I feel like you can't be around me because you're not on go too, we probably shouldn't be friends or probably be in the same room. So I just don't be around you. So, I think in terms of all our twisted minds of being elite competitors and a guy that's like, well, this is I grew up, watching Sean Taylor in the Pro Bowls, and I'm like, we're in pads, it's best on best. Let me see what I can do a little bit, So that's how I take advantage. So all I know is go. So, if he likes that, that means we're just one of the same. And that's a good thing. That's kind of what I figured of him, and that's why I got a pretty high standard about him.
A few games before this, but you're going to be going back to Dallas pretty soon. Just how do you envision kind of that return, what that's going to be like, the atmosphere and everything?
Well, obviously Dallas got to do what they got to do to get to week 4. We got to do what we got to do. I see no easy games. I see the Lions first on Sunday, what I got to try to get ready for it, and I see the Commanders on Thursday night. So I see 2 games that got some of the most elite offenses in the NFL before we get to Dallas, which I know is another elite offense after seeing them all in camp with CD and Pickens. So, I got to focus on that one first. But when it comes to week 4, we'll be ready. And, we're going to prepare the same way we had the previous weeks.
Well, you've made a few statements, but, through this last 4 or 5 months, Is there anything you want to say to your Cowboy fans today that, here you are and this is your next chapter?
Yeah. To Cowboy Nation, really just thank you. Like, I don't think people realize, I'm a very simple man. It's all about principle with me, and it's all about, the love and authenticity. And, for me, just a kid I never left Pennsylvania pretty much until I got drafted. I was a Harrisburg, Pennsylvania guy to Penn State, and the moment I got drafted, I had a second home. And they welcomed me, they opened their hearts out to me, they poured into me. That fan base is one-on-one. So thank you to the fan base, thank you to all the players that I play with. I'm gonna miss my dog Seven. That's like a brother to me. There's a lot of people that I got close relationships with over there, and I'm gonna miss them regardless. Overshown, that kind of like really, you don't realize how people, and I told Overshown this, like you don't realize the impact people have when you see their determination, the resilience, the keep getting back up factors. And these is both guys who had knee injuries, and I saw that just work so hard, and you just want to pour back into them. So, I wish, things didn't have to be like this, but, I'm happy for this opportunity. I'm happy to be here, and, I'm ready to win some games.
Mike, did you talk to, before you left, did you talk to Jerry, Steven? Did they tell you that you were being traded, or was it all through David?
It was pretty much all through David. You know what I mean?
Mike, you said that you're a football junkie. 2 first-round picks, a premium player, a huge contract that comes across on that trade. What type of expectations come along with that for you?
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. There is a lot of expectations, and I'll be a fool to not think that there isn't expectations or there isn't pressure in the position that I'm stepping into. But then again, that's a blessing in itself. That means that they believed in me that much to put that much. They believe I'm that much of a future in this organization, and they showed that in every which way. So that just alone just shows me the type of person I need to be in this building every day. And I'm very determined. I would say these last 4 months have been probably the hardest 4 months of my life. And, my family's saying, you're acting different, because it's hard. When you're the soldier of the family, it's hard to say when you're unsure yourself. It's easy when, you could just go to the store and buy the groceries and know there's going to be food on the table. But if you can't go to the store, how's there going to be food on the table? And that's kind of how I felt. So, but during this time, it just made me stronger. It made me more mentally stronger, that I can get through anything. And it just showed me that, whatever happens, you can't really control it. And that all you can do control is every day. So when y'all say, how do you feel physically? I was working every day, pushing myself. Even when I couldn't be out there, I had to do it on my own. And I took that at my own right to say I was going to do that. And I pushed myself every day. And so I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be here to win games. And I'm going to push these guys to do what we have to do to prove this organization was right about me.
Your dad did a TV interview yesterday. He talked about your history with the Harrisburg Packers. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, man. So growing up, I started off as a Harrisburg Packer. And, it's kind of like, just being here as a Packer today, it's like life always comes full circle for me. And I don't really know why. I think God has his hand over me more than I could ever ask for. So, shout out to Coach Ham. That was the first person to ever make me believe as a Harrisburg Packer that I could be special and I could be different. And, in life we don't know what comes with being special and different until we're actually in it. So, shout out to Coach Ham. And, being a Packer now here today, it's an extreme honor and a blessing.
What'd you play back then? What'd you play back then?
I was a running back. Yeah, y'all gonna see. I got skills, man. If I ever get a turnover, we going to the crib. I gotta get a Lambeau leap, man.
You talked about how hard the past 4 months has been. It's been a lot of waiting just to find out what might happen. And when you got that call from David yesterday, what were you doing and what was that moment like?
I was actually I was leaving treatment from the facility, leaving treatment. And I told Dave, I said, bro, I told him that day, I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen, but I need you to get something done soon. I have not played football this long since I was in 7th grade and I was overweight. I was so overweight that like I just took a massive growth spurt in 7th grade that, I was in them weigh-ins before the game. And I had to take the whole 7th grade year off. And I ain't play again until 8th grade, and I played freshman football. So I was like, bro, you need to hurry up and get me on the field. Like, you need to get me moving. Like, I don't really like this waiting game. So the fact that, I feel, bro, y'all don't even understand how relieved I feel. I told Rashid, I said, bro, just go ahead and get ready for your best practice week, because I ain't put my hands on somebody in so long, and I'm just so ready to get out there. Like, y'all don't even understand, bro. Like, it's miserable when, like, you missing the thing that you love. Like, because this is what it's about, right? We play it because we love, right? And, bro, just missing that. Like, my getaway, I'm just holding everything in. Like, workouts is cool, pushing yourself, cool, but just actually playing what you love, that's like watching your big brother just play Xbox all day and you never get to touch it. You just get to see it. Like, that's kind of how I feel. I got to watch everyone get better, get, faster, learn the system, do everything. But I couldn't be out there, and that kind of hurt me more than anything.
What did you do during that time, to keep your mental in a good spot? And, when you weren't playing football, what did you do during that time?
Bro, I relied on a lot of family and a lot of, scriptures. Like, my mentor sending me scriptures, a lot of God, for real, like praying. Like, mom calling me to pray, uncle calling me to pray, a lot of family calling me to pray. And, they just praying that God, take this off my shoulders. And he sure did, because when I got that call, like, there was nothing he couldn't tell me, bro. I ran out this building. I'm like, bro, I'm on my way home. When they want me there? You know what I mean? Like, it's time.
So you called him yesterday and had that chat. How long did it take for him to call you back and say, okay, it's done now?
I called him at like noon. He called me at like 4:30. He said, we're almost done. He was like, be patient. I was like, Dave, hurry up, bro. Like, I'm trying to, get ready and take this next step. Like, y'all don't even understand how excited I am to be here. I hope they understand the type of players going to come into this building every day to get better. And I understand what Kenny meant to this organization. I never want to try to replace him. I just want to try to sustain the standard that he left here and his print that he left, and same just like the other prestigious guys that came through this program.
Does your talent bring a responsibility to be a leader, or is that just who you are?
I think both. I think just as, like, if you're going to be the best player, you have to find ways to lead. And I wouldn't say I'm the most vocal guy. I'm a guy that just wants to go out there and run through somebody's face and make some plays. But as I kind of grew up and I kind of was able to sit back and be a teacher for once, and show guys things and be that on the field, I think, allowed me to see a different side of myself that I think I can add here now.
Micah, were you,
last one,
given how it felt to watch your brothers play Xbox, basically, were you starting to worry that this stalemate was not going to get resolved? And, the Cowboys game is not that far away for them, their opener. Like, were you starting to worry that you were going to have to take this farther than you even wanted to?
I was. And it's obviously not what I wanted. I think, throughout my career, I played through so many different obstacles and things like that. Like, every opportunity is a great opportunity. That's kind of how I look at it. And I did not want to be in a position where I was missing opportunities, not only to feed my family, but like I said, the brotherhood. Like, them guys wanted me on the field as bad as I wanted to be on the field. They look at me as, they big brother. Like, he needs to be out there. I know we can win with him. I know what he can do out there. So, yeah, I was worried about that. But now it's resolved. I'm going to fly in here Sunday afternoon, learn this playbook, and get ready and try to go out there and perform on Sunday afternoon.